So if you were to move to Atlanta, when do you think you would do it?
Not for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I just started watching Walking Dead. That's all in Atlanta, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's all filmed there. Like Atlanta's like the new Hollywood of the South.
Because it's really cheap to film there, isn't it?
It's super cheap. They did all those tax cuts, so we have celebrities there constantly filming stuff, and there's not a lot of paparazzi, so they actually have like some peace and quiet.
Amazing.
Which would be I see that smile. You're like,
the no pap thing, yeah. That would be wonderful.
I hope you don't mind. I'm actually going to ask for a little bit of help.
Yeah.
I'm totally taking advantage of my position here and my access. So I'm getting married in April.
Awesome.
And John Legend picked out my picture for my Save the Dates. So I wanted to know if you would pick out my wedding cake.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I have 3 options for you. You can tell our colors.
Definitely the middle one.
You like the middle one?
Pretty, yeah.
You like it, so you like simple.
I like simple but symmetrical as well. That's not symmetrical, and that's that just looks a bit too shiny and weird. And you can put a little you and him on the top of that.
Oh, our little cake topper.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm not.
Is it chocolate though?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a chocolate girl. Well, we'll have different flavors because I'm not going to try to make everybody eat chocolate.
Have you seen that? There was a meme that came out of it was a wedding cake, and someone had taken a slice of it before.
Before the bride and groom cut it?
You got to be pissed. Yeah.
Who would do that?
I don't know.
Now, I'm not trying to put any pressure on you, but when the time comes, would you be a very hands-on groom? Like, would you be planning a lot of the stuff, or would you?
I don't think the groom is ever allowed to plan anything other than. No, not even the stag do, because like the bride wants the wedding that she wants, and the groom just has to kind of like stand by and nod.
Well, there are some groomzillas. They exist.
I know, but then you're going to be a bad husband if you just take control. Like it's the girl's day. The girl has to just run with it. Do you know what? Do you know what I would say though? What I would love to have a say in is, you have the wedding and then everyone stands around for a while drinking champagne and there's no food and everyone gets really, really drunk by about 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd have is have the wedding mid-afternoon and then just have food trucks. So like have fish and chips, pizza, jerk chicken, and so as soon as the wedding's over, people grab a beer and grab like finger food. And then there's no fancy meal. You just eat on a lawn somewhere, and because no one wants the fancy meal, everyone wants like dirty like fries in a bag. And
so you're gonna let what we're having for our reception for the dinner?
What?
Fried chicken.
Oh.
I'm from Kentucky, so
Amazing.
we're doing it back in Kentucky, and I'm like, the fancy frou-frou stuff, and I'm like,
you're not gonna get KFC to cater the wedding, though, are you?
Oh, no, we're not doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some KFC, but that kind of upsets the tummy.
I found something out yesterday that apparently they can't call it chicken. They have to call it KFC because it's not technically chicken.
I
don't know.
I hail from the state of Kentucky, and I'm so devastated.
It's an urban legend.
Urban legend, right?
Okay, I was like, because we had an interview a couple years back. Do you remember the interview we did with Ed in Bed when we were at the
Yeah.
So I never want to assume, and you were the one that taught me not to drink water out of hotel rooms, and I have never drank it from a hotel faucet since
you
then.
can get really ill doing that.
Yeah. So you teach me all kinds of things, Ed. Thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Now, during your 1-year break from social media, which I was really impressed that you stuck to it literally to the 1 year, came back.
I didn't even post that thing. The thing.
Oh, the thing on December 13th. You didn't post it?
I didn't because I didn't have anything to post it from. So I gave a guy at the label my login, and he posted everything up until my thank you note, and then I've been posting things since then.
Oh, gotcha. Because it was like 1 year to the day, and it was Taylor Swift's birthday, so I didn't know if that was just coincidence.
That was just coincidence. Yeah, that was just coincidence. But yeah, I was in New Zealand when I posted that. I think she was in Australia actually when I posted that. Yeah, we were touring at the same time.
Now, when your friends were talking about stuff during your hiatus, I mean, did you have no idea what the hell they were talking about?
No, I still read the paper. I got tried to stay up to date. I did miss the mannequin challenge though. I did that completely passed me by.
All right, so you had no idea. Chewbacca mom? Do you know anything about Chewbacca?
Yeah. That was funny. I liked her. Yeah.
Now,
it's amazing how someone laughing can just make people happy, isn't it? Like those videos are like babies laughing, just like make everyone happy.
It's the simple things, which I so appreciate. Now, as you were putting together your new album, Divide, this past year, we lost some significant music icons throughout the entire year. And just to name a few, like David Bowie, Leonard Cohen, Five Dog, Prince, George Michael here recently. Does that affect your process when you're putting an album together? Like, will you be so moved, because I know how much you love music, that you'll write a special song or change something? Like
no, it hasn't changed anything of my output, but it does make me sad, that news, because none of those. No, well, Leonard Cohen was quite young as well, but like it's like all all of the people you just mentioned they really gone too soon. Like there was no like if I was like 90 and I'd passed away, I wouldn't want people to be upset because you have to die at some point, and 90 is like a good innings. But like I think anything before 80 is a bit sad.
Especially because of like Prince and David Bowie being the music icons that they were and affecting and having such a heavy impact on everybody.
But even someone like George Michael, like it's mad how many songs you know of George Michael's. When we found out, we just blasted all the songs all day, and you know every single one of them.
It's a shame that you actually don't appreciate them more when they're alive, and then they pass, and it's like, oh my God, you forget how like amazing and how much awesome music there was.
I guess that's the one positive thing to come from it is it spreads happiness in people. They get the music out again, and they feel really sort of warmed by the music. But yeah, there's not a lot of positive in that.
I know your music career is very impressive. But growing up in Suffolk, did you ever imagine yourself hanging out with royalty and hanging out with royals? Because that's impressive. Yeah. That's impressive for me because I'm like obsessed with the royal family.
Well, yeah, I went to a state school as well, so like if I'd have gone to like a private school, it would be less weird because that's the kind of circle that people mix in. But to like go to like a regular state school and then end up being there, it was quite a surreal thing. I remember me and my girlfriend were sat at the table, and someone said "Your Highness" to them, and I was like, oh wow, no, actually, yeah, we are actually with royalty at the moment. This is very surreal.
Do you have to use that same terminology? By the way, is there protocol you have to follow? Or
no, well, so the first time I met them, I was playing Holly Branson's wedding. It's like six years ago, and I'm not very good with like faces and names and like keeping up to date with stuff, so I didn't know what they looked like, and I found myself in a long conversation with someone at this wedding, and they were very sober and I was very drunk and a bit sort of like and then the next morning they were like, that was one of the princesses, and I was like, oh. so like I've never really had that sort of relationship with them where I have been proper. I think they expect me to be the loose one.
Oh, that's probably why they appreciate you. And by the way, the scar's pretty badass.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a hell of a story too.
Yeah, well, I mean, the paper got that story kind of messed up. I don't know how it got.
So was it like super embellished?
No, it was just me and James Blunt were playing with swords when we were drunk.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff happens.
As you do, as all men should do. Get swords and play with them.
Yeah, I know whenever I'm hammered with my girlfriends, the first thing we want to do is just,
get out a butcher's knife and slice each other.
Yeah, and just start going at it. I loved watching this go viral, you doing your version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme.
I only found out that went viral yesterday. It had like 1 million hits in a day. It was weird.
Yeah, it's so awesome because, I think we're about close to the same age, so I was a huge fan of the show too, watched it growing up. So I wanted to know if we could have Ed's version of another famous TV theme song. And I don't know if you've heard, it's a big deal. Girlfriend are living together. What would she say is your most annoying habit? Like mine, I never replace the toilet paper roll when it's empty. I get yelled at all the time for that.
I'm not sure. I think the most annoying habit in women though is putting those pillows on a bed. When they put like 15 pillows on a bed and they just get taken off when you go to bed, never used, and then you sleep, and then you wake up, and then they put the pillows back on the bed. What is that about?
I don't know how it happens. So every time I go to Home Goods, I see another one.
Another pillow, and you're one of these girls then.
I'm a pillow girl, and I don't even know why, because I toss them all off.
They're so uncomfy as well. They're like they're little tiny pillows, and
they're hard, and they're not soft, and they have weird things.
And they don't even make the bed look nicer. You look at the bed, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I can ruin that. I don't know if I can just jump on that.
I will try to be better about not buying.
No, it's just I don't think enough men speak up about it because we just kind of nod and accept it, but it's not the dumb thing.
So you need to go to Facebook and create a fan page of No More Pillows and just start a movement. Yeah. Start a no pillow movement.
No, do you know what? Put them on the spare bed. You can have can have your pillow bed. You put them in the spare room on the spare bed. But,
okay.
But just leave the bed. Leave the bed. Come on.
All right, if you could be in any boy band, because you're a phenomenal solo singer, but if you could be in any boy band, your choice, which boy band would you like to be in?
Backstreet Boys, because I reckon I could pull off a white suit.
Yeah.
And a cane. Have a cane as well.
Maybe like in the future music video for any of your singles coming off Divide. You can
get in a white
suit? Why not?
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be able to pull it off. Actually, thinking about it.
And I read that you have a man cave where you painted the walls black and people come in and autograph.
I've got two actually. I've got one in London and one in Suffolk. Yeah.
Dude, nice. What would you say is the most impressive chalk autograph you have on your man cave wall?
Eric Clapton.
That's huge.
What's impressive for me to other musicians is Rick Rubin, because he never comes to England, and he was there for like the first time in a long time, and he hit me and he was like, I'm in West London, where are you? And I was like, I live in West London. He's like, cool, I'll come around. And so he just popped around my house, which was really random. But yeah, I'd say Eric Clapton for me is the most impressive one that's on the wall.
I see, and I'm a huge classic rock fan. My dad raised me right. I grew up listening to like his old Beatles vinyl and CCR and the Rolling Stones. So when you meet somebody like Eric Clapton for the first time, I mean, are you kind of like, are you nervous?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to spend a bit of time with him over the last sort of 2 or 3 years. So it's obviously still nerve-wracking. But when was the first time I met him? I think I went in the studio with him. The first time I met him, yeah. That was the first time.
And you were just no.
No, I was very nervous, but he's a really friendly guy. You don't come in and feel really intimidated. Like that's
always lovely to hear.
Yeah, he's friendly.
That's what you want to hear. Now, as you were putting your new album Divide together, was there any songs you came across that gave you fits, and do you ever give up on anything, or do you see it all the way through?
No, I mean like Shape of You probably had like 100+ mixes on it. So like after like mix 3 or 4, I was like, to the label, you just do your thing on it, because like when it's just too many cooks and everyone has an opinion, so I just let them all have their opinions, and then at the end I kind of swept in and changed everything.
How many people are you willing to let listen to some of your songs before they go public?
Oh, whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever. Yeah, I'm not that fussy. Yeah, whoever wants to hear them, really, as long as they don't record them on their phone.
Keep it as long as they don't release them to the world before you're ready. And I'm not going to ask you to pick a favorite song that you've written or a favorite song that you perform, because I don't think that's fair. But I would love to know if there is one particular lyric that when you wrote it down, you were like, damn, that's good. Like, do you have a favorite just lyric that has resonated with you the most?
I don't know. Probably.
I know you've written a lot.
Yeah, probably. I mean, probably something that's in the A-Team.
Mhm.
I guess. I don't know. Or like on the new album, the first track is called Eraser, and the first 2 lines are, I was born inside a small town, and I lost that state of mind. I learned to sing inside the Lord's house and stopped the age of 9. I quite like that. Was like a kind of the whole of that song was a kind of verbal vomit. And those 2 lines sort of opened up the door. Yeah, it was good.
All right, Divide is out March 3rd. Ed Sheeran, it's so lovely to see you. You're
nice.
always so kind.
I want to come back on the Burt Show when I'm back in Atlanta.
Yeah, a door is always open.
Awesome.
Come anytime.
Awesome. And I'm
going to try to make everybody eat chocolate.
Have you seen that? There was a meme that came out of it was a wedding cake, and someone had taken a slice of it before
the bride and groom cut it?
You got to be pissed. Yeah.
Who would do that?
I don't know.
Now, I'm not trying to put any pressure on you, but when the time comes, would you be a very hands-on groom? Like, would you be planning a lot of the stuff, or would you just...
I don't think the groom is ever allowed to plan anything other than... No, not even the stag do.
So if you were to move to Atlanta, when do you think you would do it?
Not for a couple of years. Yeah. But I just started watching Walking Dead. That's all in Atlanta, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's all filmed there. Atlanta's like the new Hollywood of the South.
Because it's really cheap to film there, isn't it?
It's super cheap. They did all those tax cuts. So we have celebrities there constantly filming stuff. And there's not a lot of paparazzi, so they actually have like some peace and quiet.
Amazing.
Which would be I see that smile.
It's like the bride wants the wedding that she wants, and the groom just has to kind of like stand by and nod.
Well, there are some groomzillas. They exist.
I know, but then you're going to be a bad husband if you just take control. Like it's the girl's day. The girl has to just run with it. Do you know what? Do you know what I would say though? What I would love to have a say in is, you have the wedding and then everyone stands around for a while drinking champagne. The no pap thing? Yeah, that would be wonderful.
I hope you don't mind. I'm actually going to ask for a little bit of help.
Yeah.
I'm totally taking advantage of my position here and my access. So I'm getting married in April.
Awesome.
And John Legend picked out my picture for my save the dates. So I wanted to know if you would pick out my wedding cake.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I have 3 options for you. You can tell our colors.
Definitely the middle one.
You like the middle one?
Pretty, yeah.
You like it, so you like simple.
I like simple but symmetrical as well. That's not symmetrical, and that's that just looks a bit too shiny and weird. And you can put a little you and him on the top of that.
Oh, our little cake topper.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm
Is
not.
it chocolate though?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a chocolate girl. Well, we'll have different flavors because I'm not